Hey everyone, Mark Edward Wilows with you here, and welcome once again to Gabbin. I have a special guest with me here today. If you are a big fan of the daytime show Days of Our Lives on NBC, you know this lady. She has been there for years. She plays Nancy Wesley on the show, and her name is Patrika Darbo. Patrika, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, Mark. We were just talking how far we go back.
Oh, goodness gracious.
We don't want to. In the cradle.
Yes, we don't want to say how far, but we do go back a good number of years. Well, anyway, welcome to the program. And the first question I have to ask, and I know this is on everyone's mind, is playing Nancy Wesley. You've been doing it now for about how many years?
I started in 1998. I think the first time I left was 2007. Then I was back a little bit. Then I was back in 2013 and 14. Then I did something, I think 2016, just before I went to Bold and the Beautiful. So,
Now, playing the character that long, and Nancy is such a character, you either love her or hate her, but the character that you play is, how could we describe it? Flamboyant, out there, butting into everyone's business but her own.
I think years ago, TV Guide called me the full-figured bitch goddess of daytime.
Oh.
Which has sort of stuck with me.
Now, what was it like to play a character like that? Obviously, much more fun than playing someone that's very good, right?
It's so interesting because we were stinkers, Kevin Spiritus and I, when we first came on. And it was not like, listen, it's kind of like, what's the character from Roger Rabbit where she goes, I'm not bad, I'm just written that way. So we're that kind of characters, but it was lovely because I'm usually the beat up wife or the ditzy neighbor, and here I got to be, soap opera gorgeous clothes and everything that Richard Bloor did for me and my gorgeous husband, and we raised a little hell is what we did.
And you had your character, you had such presence when you entered the set. I always used to love when you'd go, your look, that even said it all. You didn't need no speaking lines. The scene was right there, just looking at you. And I always remember that. And what was it like to do a soap? I know you did Bold and Beautiful. You played Sally Spectra there. But doing a soap is more work, I think, than the average viewer realizes, correct?
Well, it's probably the hardest work I've ever done, but I want to make one little correction. I played Shirley Spectra.
Shirley, I'm
okay, sorry. But because I would never want to take Darlene Spectra.
No, exactly.
Darlene was,
yes, there was no one like her,
and no one. And though Courtney is brilliant as her, my granddaughter and her great niece. I think probably, as I said a minute ago, doing the soap operas is probably the hardest work I've ever done. I have such great admiration and respect for my fellow performers. We memorize 30 to 40 pages a day. We shoot a movie script a day. When I'm doing an episodic show or I'm doing a feature film, we may only shoot 4 pages a day. So we don't always have the time we would love to make sure we're letter perfect in our words or letter perfect in what we're doing. So sometimes we get a bad rep from that. But trust me, these are consummate professional actors who are working their asses off.
I have been on the set, I have seen it, and I know it. The average script for the 1 hour show could be about 90 pages a day. And it is a lot of work. I always say people that do daytime television, they all deserve an Emmy Award, each one. And of course, speaking of, you do have an Emmy Award and 4 nominations. I don't know if you recall, but when you were nominated, you called me on the phone and you left a message on my answering machine. Hi, Mark, this is Patrika. I'm nominated. You
Again, I was probably a baby back then too. So, but you'd always been so gracious and kind to me, and so I probably had to let you know. But I just wanted to add something to the fact that we as actors really have a lot of work to do, but we have amazing crews. Our writers who turn out a script. I may not be in every script all week long, but the writers turn out scripts every single day for those 90 pages that have to be memorized. Our crew, our camera people. So I have to give kudos to our crew. because they're amazing people
Oh,
also.
yes, I've been there and I have seen it. Like you said, the cast gets the recognition because you're the people seen, but it is the crew, it's the makeup artist, the writer, directors. I mean, even the guy that sweeps the floors.
Well, he's got to make sure we don't stumble over something or everything.
Yes, yes. And I always remember many years ago, I interviewed Suzanne Rogers from Days of Our Lives, and she always told me it takes a village.
It does. It absolutely does. And I truly can't sit here and say, it's the hardest work I've ever done. I'm sure it's the hardest work everyone's done. And now that we're in COVID, it's even harder because of the restrictions with us having to wear masks on and while we're there, doing our own basics on hair and makeup so that we are pretty much ready to go in, so that the makeup and hair are not constantly with people coming in and out and stuff. So again, it takes a village, and I can't go on talking about it without giving them the recognition they justly deserve.
Right. And how has it changed over the years? Now, let's just focus on Days of Our Lives. I mean, for example, back in the day, you went in, you shot an episode, it maybe aired 3 weeks later on that day or whatever, and you had like the whole day to rehearse. Today, correct me if I'm wrong, but you don't have that. You literally walk in and you need to be prepared for that day, correct?
Yeah, you have to know your lines when you walk in that day. There's no extra time going on. We do maybe have, if we're not first up, we may have a couple, 3 hours in between while they're doing scenes before us. But basically, you need to be ready to go when the cameras start at 8:45. Now with COVID, some of us are called in at 5:30 because we have to be tested and wait in the dressing room to make sure we're cleared and stuff. Also, years ago, we used to film the show and 2 or 3 weeks later, you'd see the show. Right now, Days is about, I'm filming next week an episode that won't air till December. That's how far up we are and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, well, I know it used to even be 6 months at one time.
Well, yes, it keeps it's adjusting. So we're that far ahead. So when COVID basically hit and everything shut down, we had story at Days, and it's amazing and how fast we have to go, but how much the writers are ahead and how much they're doing. And it is sad and hard on some of them at sometimes. If something happens, they can't change something because it's already in the can. So it's an amazing thing. I'm so grateful that I'm asked back again and that the fans appreciate the work that I do and the show. So and I can't tell you how much that I have to tell you, daytime fans, Mark, are the
loyal.
They're the best. Loyal. They're family. They truly are family. I'm listen, I'm a newcomer. I came in 98, but I have fans because of that for 25 years that have become close friends. So it's amazing. Kevin Spiritus and I, the husband and wife, friends forever here. So it's amazing. And Nadia, I've seen her come from the little ghoul girl that she was to be a mother of 2 beautiful children.
I interviewed her when she was the ghoul girl. I remember she was a doll.
She's amazing and beautiful, and 2 beautiful kids. So it's really the whole thing has changed. I remember when I first started with the cameras, if you made a mistake, you had to start from the very beginning. Let's pick it up. The good line is this one. Let's start there. Whereas before, if you had a monologue that was 2 pages long, you had to start over again. So it's great. And these new cameras, I don't look like my behind is as big as a Buick. So it's like.
Patrika, now 35 years you have been in the business. That is an astounding long time, or maybe more.
It is okay. A few years more. But since I'm only 30, it's a little hard to say.
So how does it feel to be all that many years? When you started, did you ever think you would be that many years in this business?
Well, when I started doing this, I was really only doing it part-time because I held down an executive job. I was a lady executive with 6 people working for me. I traveled for business, and then if I had an audition, I had to turn in vacation time. So my husband and I didn't travel a lot at that time. So if I did get a job, I didn't feel I was cheating that company. So But listen, I did the Jeffersons. I did Different Strokes. You can look those up.
Oh, I know. You name it. You have
Uh,
done it. What blew me away is you played Suzanne Summers' sister in Step by Step. And I know you have done so much work, not to mention playing Roseanne Barr in Roseanne's life story. What was that like?
It's good to be the queen, Mark. It's
Oh,
good to be the queen.
you know,
And
it
then-
is amazing. I will tell you, Patrika, for Roseanne Barr's movie, casting with you was impeccable. I mean, perfect.
I'm very lucky. And I had done the show also. I had played Dan's dream lover at this point. And you know what? My dog has found her toy. Dusty? No.
Oh, that's okay. Hey, this is the cabin. Animals
right,
are
right in the middle of the interview, you're going to hear eat, oh, eat, oh, eat, oh, like this. So, anyway, sorry. Yeah, so I got to play on the show, and then I got to do play her, and it was good to be the queen at the time. I'm sorry that she may have, as we say in the South, sometimes she peed in her chili with a little bit of the stuff that happened to her personally.
Now, when you played her, did you consult with her on anything? Or?
No, I didn't, but I ran into her, I think probably a month after the show had aired and things like that. And she was like, I like what you did, but you cried too much. So I said, that director, Roseanne, it was the director. Anyway, but she was very kind to me, and she was very kind to Stephen, who has since passed away. But she was not as kind to Denny Dillon, who did the Fox portrayal of it. So, so I'm very blessed along those lines.
And also, you are a stage trained actress. Tell well,
I love it. I mean, I think theater, I think everyone should have that theater, because you get, you really get the
instant gratification.
Well, there's nothing like applause,
Yeah.
just as they say all that, and they hear the immediate laughter and stuff. And when you're doing television, it's not that way. And sometimes you do crack the crew up and they have to start over because everybody's laughing and they shouldn't be on. So, but I met my husband doing theater. It's been one of those things that I really love doing. And it gave me a strong background, especially for the soaps. So sometimes you have to remember to tell the story. And if you do go up and you can sometimes come right back, you may screw up a word, and they don't always hold this letter perfect unless it messes up what the story is going for. So you can keep going and not waste time.
Do you think, Patrika, in your opinion, daytime dramas like Days of Our Lives is like theater, just minus the audience? I mean, because you are doing a story, you are acting on stage. I mean,
well, it is. The only difference is that we do something different every day. On stage, you're repeating the same show over and over. That immediate gratification for a performer is always the most wonderful thing that can happen and stuff. It's I don't know, it's like a sitcom and the same thing, though the show that you get in the morning. When I was doing Step by Step, the show we read on Monday was not always the same show we shot on Friday.
Really?
Yeah, and sometimes when you shoot two shows on Friday, you want the second show, you've got new lines that you have to memorize in between there. So again, having a theater background, it was easy to learn those lines and keep them up. Right now, for us as actors, when we audition today because of COVID, everything is put on self-tape.
Oh yeah, all virtual and right to the casting office.
which we dinosaurs are having a little problem with. But I may get 10 or 15 pages that I need to memorize while I'm still doing days. And having done the soap, or having still done the soap, it has allowed my brain to memorize those lines, so I can do a self-tape at the same time I'm learning something for Nancy Wesley. So it's amazing. And again, like I said, the show has changed, and the fact the equipment has changed, and how we're doing now. We're in high def, so everybody's kind of like, how do I look? Right? How do I look? Oh yeah, I have a double chin here.
Oh yes, yes. I spoke to an actress from the show who will remain nameless, but I remember she told me, she says, "Oh boy, now there's HD, television." She said, "Oh God," she was
it's like, whoa! It's like, why are you shooting the side of my face? There's wrinkles there. No,
yes. Now I need to ask you, Patrika, as you know, it is no more a secret. Days of Our Lives is going to be going streaming to Peacock. What's your thought on that? Do you think it may feed new life life into the show? What do you think?
Well, I think, first of all, I think everybody, that the cast and the fans and everybody should be grateful because we have a home. We could have
Mhm.
been canceled.
Exactly.
So this moves us forward to other things. Could get a little racier because now we're on
That's what I was
cable.
gonna say. Oh dear, look out.
Though daytime has always been a little racier than normal, and has addressed many issues that regular, sometimes night television hasn't. I don't think you'll see any more than a few more of those sexy chests from those boys that are working out all the time.
Oh yes, and Days of Our Lives does have those boys.
And they are like amazing. And you know what's so interesting is they not only are they beautiful to look at, have great bodies that they have to work very hard for, but we have so many singers brought, look at, my mind is going a little bit. It's because I'm certainly thinking about those chests and I can't think of a name.
Just erase that thought, Patrika.
But Eric Martzoff, a fabulous singer. I did an event in the spring that Carson Boatman sang, fabulous. Let's see, there's just so many. I mean, it's so interesting, the talent. Nadia herself, Kevin.
Nadia.
So maybe there'll be some more of that. It'll offer a little bit more things there for them to do. I just think it's a fact. It's been around since the 60s, and this keeps it on the air for the fans.
Yes. And will there be anything different in terms of the way it's shot now or anything, or that will
that I can't answer because, like I said, I shoot one more episode that airs in December, and then I'm virtually done unless they come up with more story that I don't know about. But at this point, I'm virtually done. Nancy Wesley's back in New York, and
we need
done.
to walk with signs. Bring Nancy back.
Well, thank you. That would be great because I've had the best time and I adore everyone there. So I don't know anything about what's going on. Streaming is the future for almost all the television that's network. I don't know. I think you're going to find that CBS, NBC, and ABC are all going to be game shows, talk shows, and the news. Because everything will be on their streaming network. So I'm not sure what's happening, but CBS has 2 soaps that could virtually end up being on the CBS network, streaming station, as well as ABC. So,
and you know what? It is the times for someone that can't see it that way. I think you have to come to terms with it. I mean, this is the world today we live in.
Well, it really is. It's what's going on. There's so much input television coming from all over Europe. I mean, there's different productions being done elsewhere. It's a plethora of television, and if they can make it, it's a little cheaper at this point to do because it was new to start off with, but it is the future. And so I'm a little old, but I hope to be along with the future.
Yeah. Now let me ask Patrika Darbo, what is Patrika Darbo like? Minus Nancy and television, what would we find Patrika doing at home? Walking her dog, working in a garden? What would it be?
I love to read. At this point, I play with the dog, and my husband and I, take walks and play with her a lot. I'm involved with the Thalians organization, which was started by Debbie Reynolds years ago, which we are in close conjunction with UCLA's Operation Mend, taking care of the mental health of our veterans. I also work with a lot of animal rescues. So I keep pretty busy here and there. That's going on. And again, sometimes I don't leave my sofa because I got a lot of lines to memorize.
Oh, yes. How far, getting back to the show now and us memorizing, how far do you get the script? I mean, is it day before?
Usually you get it, no, you can get it a week, at least sometimes a week. If there's problems, it may be 3 or 4 days, but and then they're pretty, like, we know you just got the script, or if you go in and they put a lot of changes in, then, it's like, oops. But generally you can have it at least a week before.
Now, let me ask you, being the professional that you are, the consummate professional, when you get your script for someone out there that wants to get in acting, someone trying to break in, when you study the script, is it word for word? Is it a photographic memory? How do you study the script?
Well, I read it over and over a lot, and then I will concentrate on each scene after I've given it I read about 200 or 300 times, just reading it, because then I'm learning their lines as well as my lines, the story and what's happening. And then I will concentrate on each scene at a time like that. So
Sure. And also when you work with the same performer, like day in and day out, like you and Kevin, you both kind of know each other. So I would say it really kind of bounces off of each other.
it is when you've like, for me, like I had never worked with James Reed before. So that was a finding thing. And also James is like, he's like 6'4". So it's like,
Oh.
I was like, hello, how are you?
What's new up there?
And of course, North and South, I'm one of those Southern girls like this going, oh my God, he was the Yankee and he was the gorgeous Yankee. And oh my God, I get to kiss him in a few minutes. I'm going to have a breakdown. Anyway, so that was pretty fun. And so the little things like that. I think just sensing, learning, I guess an advice to an actor I can give you right this moment, if you're new and you're starting, is read. Practice reading books, practice doing anything, because
And what about persistence?
well, you have to be like a dog with a bone at this point. Can you excuse me just 1 minute?
Oh.
Rolf, I'm trying to call my husband because my dog is bouncing up and down right here going, it's time for me to eat.
It's probably my voice.
She's like, excuse me, I eat at 5 o'clock. What is the problem? You need to go away. You need to go away. Rolf, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I'm on recording. Can you come here? I'm so sorry.
I know, that's okay. I always say this is a
dog. She's driving me nuts.
This is a cabin. Animals, anybody are welcome to join in.
That to my fans, she is demanding supper. Now my husband's going to feed her because she just went off now with him. And then we should get her tummy full and come back and bounce at me like this.
Now, let me ask you, Patrika, out of all what you did or have done, be it movies, sitcoms, whatever, anything comes to mind that's one of your favorites that you really treasure you have done?
Well, one of my favorite things I ever did was Daddy Stein, Who's Got the Will by Del Shores. That was, I had done several of his plays, and before it and after it. But we did that one for 2 years at a little 99-seat theater. Then we got to go to London, Edinburgh, and perform in the Fringe. And then I got to reprise my role in the film. So that was kind of a wonderful thing. Then I got put under contract to ABC, blah, 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 blah. So it just was one of those things that I got to originate the role, and then I got to bring her to life on film, and it just kept progressing. So, and of course I love and adore Del, just because I did several shows for him. I think my best part is yet to come. I like to look at it. What
does the future hold for Patrika?
Yeah, I always think that we have to look and say that something else is coming, and it keeps you on your toes and keeps you going and doing other stuff. I always like to say I've had a great career. Well, I'm still having a great career.
Is there anything you want your fans to know about Patrika that I would not think of asking you?
I don't know if there's anything they don't know about me, because I'm so open. If they send me a picture, I sign it. If they, email me, I answer those. I think that this has opened so many doors for our fans to get a hold of this.
Yes.
And between the Twitters and the
Facebook,
listen, I have to tell you right now, and hopefully somebody's listening that it happened to, or I screwed up, but somebody wanted me to sign stuff, and I told them absolutely, and send me an address, and I cannot find that address. I know they sent it to me. I know I saw it. I don't know where it is in this.
Oh, if they are watching, hopefully they are one of the viewers.
If they're watching, please, just please Facebook me again or something, because I am a technical dinosaur. I know people have asked me to do, and I can't find it. And then I like beat myself up because I'm like, they're gonna hate me like this. And I certainly, ever the actor, the sensitive actor, I don't want anybody hating me. And I never want somebody who supported me to not be able to take care of them. So if you're out there and I said I'd do something and I didn't do it, I will if I find it.
Okay.
Or if you send it to me again.
Well, Patrika, we're just about out of time. It was a pleasure
It
having
was
you
a
on
pleasure.
the
But so
show.
now let's talk about your weight loss, darling.
Oh
So
dear.
let's talk about this, how cute he is. My little chubette friend here, Mark, has
Yes,
now lost a lot of weight. Look at him,
I
how
will
cute.
stand up
Look at
50,
him. Look at him.
56
Now sit back down
pounds.
because I'm not standing up, but I just gotta say,
And I have to tell you, I never in my life thought, but today I tried on skinny jeans and it just blew me away. So yeah, I have done good and I'm sticking to it. And I'm right now at my high school weight, if you could believe that. And I am sticking to it.
I'm less than my high school weight.
So
But as long as you're healthy, I think that's the best thing.
yes, and you
I
know
know
what?
people,
The secret, because people do ask me, mind control and portion control. That's what
I
it's
think
all about.
it's anything, but I'm glad you didn't say if I did it, anybody can do it, because I don't think that's a
Yeah.
legitimate
Oh
thing to
no.
say.
And
'Cause
everybody has to do what is for them.
what is for them, and
Exactly.
we all carry different. I used to have a steamer trunk. I have a little bitty carry-on, but it's still got stuff in it that makes me, when I feel I'm out of control, give me something to eat now. So
Yes.
it's that kind of thing. But I think as long as people are healthy, that's the most important thing. So
Yes. Great
I-
advice. Well, Patrika, once again, thank you so much. Much continued success. And I know that future is bright, like you said. There's something out there waiting.
we have to do that. We have to make sure that we always look forward, but stop and smell those roses again the way too.